I have some Reiki healing music going in the background. Think you can hear me over it. If you can't hear me, let me know. So I always like to start seated or in a chair or whatever works for you. Let's see here. I'm gonna move back a little bit so you can see me. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get centered. And this is a seated, grounded breath. So get into a comfortable position, whatever's comfortable for you. And I like to put my right hand over my heart. It's gonna look opposite to you. And then my left hand over my, what they call the solar plexus, or the right over your navel. And we're just gonna start breathing. So we're gonna inhale. And I like to count because it kind of clears my head. So I like inhale for 4 through my nose, exhale for 4 through my mouth. And if you can, a lot of times it's nice to do 2 more inhales or 2 more exhales than you do inhales. So let's inhale for 4, exhale for 6. And you can increase the number. Inhale for 6 and exhale to 8. It's kind of nice with your hands over this because when you're inhaling, it's filling up like a balloon and you can actually feel it. And when you're exhaling, it collapses. Now your body doesn't collapse, it's just, okay? And exhale. If thoughts come into your mind, just let them come and go. Try to focus on your breath and your counting. And let's take a couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. We just want to bring ourselves into the present. And if you are sitting on the floor on a mat, and even if you're in a chair, you kind of want to see if you can be aligned. So your glutes are into the floor, grounded. Your hips are your waist is over your hips, shoulders over your waist, and head is centered. So it's not forward, it's not back. You're just centered over your torso. Okay. And now we're going to do a few torso twists. So we're just going to put our fingers on our shoulders, and we're just going to twist to the left, and your head will go with your torso, and center. And then we'll twist right and center. Do that again. Center and left. Right and center. Inhale, center, and exhale. Left. Inhale and exhale right. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, left. Inhale, exhale, right. And 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Great. Just roll your hands, your wrists a little bit. And now we're going to do a few side stretches. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up my right hand, left hand's on the ground, and I'm just going to twist over to the left. Feel a nice stretch here. Count back, and we're going to go to the other side, same thing. And try not to come forward. We're going sideways, and if you can look up at the ceiling, great. Now let's go again. Left. And remember your breath. Inhale and exhale. And let's do 2 more times each side. Every time you exhale, just see if you can go a little farther. So you inhale and exhale. But just do what your body can do, don't push it. Now let's do 1 more time each side. And again. Okay. And now let's put our feet together like this. And so our feet are together, our knees are out. You can put them as the heels as close to your body as you want, whatever feels good for you. And let's just bounce. This kind of helps open up the hips. And then I'm going to move my feet out a little bit so I can just come forward. So I'm not rounding. I'm just going to come forward. I'm keeping my knees down, and I'm just going to keep my back as flat as I can. Should feel a stretch in your inner thighs, your hips, and even your lower back a little bit. And inhale and exhale. And I'm going to stretch. I kind of like to take like 3 breaths, and each time I inhale and exhale, just see if I can stretch a tiny bit more. Okay, and come up. Let's do one more thing for our hips while we're sitting here. So I'm going to extend my right leg. I'm going to cross my left leg over. I'm going to grab my knee in the crease of my right elbow. And when you do that, see if you can pull your left knee into your chest. You should feel a nice stretch right there. And you can just stay right here. But if you want, you can put your hand behind you and then just twist a bit. You don't have to do that, but if you can do, and you can look over your left shoulder. And let's take a couple breaths here. And let's release, and let's do the other side. So now I have my left leg straight. I like to flex my foot, and then I'm going to cross my right leg over. It's bent, the knee is bent. I'm going to wrap my left arm around it, right in the crook, in the crease. And then I'm going to pull it in. And when you pull in, you should feel a nice stretch in that hip. You could stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you can just twist and look over your right shoulder. Okay, and release, and then let's just take our legs, and we're just gonna windshield wiper. And that's a mobilization for the hip here. Okay. Now I'm gonna stand up, move my mat, and we're gonna work on our feet, and then we'll do some work on our shoulders. So I'm gonna grab my stick, or if you have a rolling pin, great, or if you have just a tennis ball or any kind of small ball, racket ball, even a handball might work. It's a little bit small. Golf ball can work. I get that's kind of intense. You just have to do it lightly. But I'm going to start with my left foot over the stick on my arch. And I'm just going to put pressure on it. I'm going to lean in, breathe in for 4, and breathe out. Now, if you have a ball, you do the same thing. It's in the arch, breathe in, and breathe out. So, just going to put some weight on it. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to move it down to another part of the arch, and inhale and exhale. And one more time. And then I'm just going to rock my foot right and left, left and right. And if you don't have the tools, you can still do this without it. And then I'm going to roll my foot out. Now, if you don't have these tools, you can just roll your heel and roll your ball of the foot, but I'm going to do it like this. So I'm rolling. If you have a ball, any kind of ball, you can just go like this. Even soup cans I find work, or any kind of bottle or something too would work. Plastic though, I don't want you breaking glass. And now we're going to go from our arch to the ball of our foot, and I'm I'm going over my toes. Now I'm going to do the entire foot. When I do the entire foot, I like to roll on the inside and outside edges. And if you have a ball, this works. If you have a roller, and that's the only thing you have, that works. So whatever works for you, and whatever tools you have. Okay, now we're going to take the other foot, same thing. We're just going to lean in and put a little pressure on it and release. And I'm going to find another spot in that arch and lean in and release. And one more time, lean in and release. And then I'm going to just rock my foot right and left, left and right. I'm going up and down that arch. And then I'm going to roll. And now I'm going to roll from the arch to the ball of the foot. And now I'm going to do the entire foot forward and back and left and right. Okay, you put the stick or the rolling pin, whatever you have, over to the side. Just have your ball nearby. And I'm just going to lift my toes. And if you're sitting on the chair, you can lift them. Even if you're laying down, you can just pull your toes towards you. So we're going to lift them and spread them, and then lift them and spread them. I like to get my fingers and hands involved. And lift and spread. You can spread your fingers too and come back in. Now I'm going to take a ball or whatever you know, even if you have, I was noticing I have a paperweight. You can do this with a paperweight too. And you can do it with nothing. I mean, what you're going to do is just, you want to crunch your toes like so. I put it on the ball so I can crunch it around it. And I'm going to do that again. And one more time. And now I'm going to take the other foot and do the same thing. And put the ball over to the side. Not to trip on it, I don't want anybody tripping. And then now I'm going to just raise my heel and stretch out my toes. Okay, now I'm going to turn my foot under and have it, you don't want it to go out to the side, not now. But so I'm going to turn it under and I'm just going to lean into it. I'm going to stretch the top part of my foot and up into my shin. If you're in a chair or if you're laying down, you could use a strap or a scarf and just put it around your foot like this. You put it around the top and just squeeze it in. So, or if you're in a chair, you can just go like that. If you're laying down, you can just pull in like that. But if you're standing, you just turn it under and just lean into it and take a couple breaths. I always take like 3 breaths when I'm in some of these positions. Inhale and exhale. And then we are gonna like drop our knee right and left. Okay, now we're going to do the other one, same thing. So we're going to lean in, feel that stretch up the top of your foot and into your shin a little bit. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, and when you exhale, try to Just relax, see if the muscle will stretch a little bit more. And then rock the heel back and forth, right to left. Okay, now we're just gonna come up on our toe, left toe, and I'm gonna mobilize the ankle, the knee, and the hip, and I'm gonna go out 5 times and rotate in a circle. And I'm gonna go 5 times the other way. If you're sitting, you can just go in and out like that too. So now we're doing the other side. And let's go the opposite way. Okay, now let's just do a little mobilization for our hip, and we're just going to make our leg go out and in. If you're standing, hold on if you need to. And one more time. Let's do the other side. You don't want this hip to go out. You want to hold this straight. Okay. Now let's just take our, if you have a strap or a scarf, and if you don't have this, you don't have to use it. But so I kind of hold it kind of taut, and I'm in front of me, and I'm going to go to the side, and I'm just going to have my arms go up and down. You can use a towel also. And if you don't have anything, you can just move your arms up and down like that too. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And then I'm going to go to this side, overhead, and that side. Now I have the strap in front of me, and I'm just going to shoot my hands over to the right and to the left. And to the right, and you can look over there too, left, and one more time, right and left. Now we're going to go over to the right and make it go overhead to the left, and overhead to the right, and overhead to the left, and one more time each side. Okay, and then I'm just going to lift my arms overhead and try to press back and down, up and press back. And you don't need the strap, you can just bring your hands and press back. Let's do that one more time and press back. Okay, let's go take the strap behind you. And we're just going to lift up. And when you lift up and press back, see if you can bring your shoulder blades together. Okay. And you can drop the thing, the strap. Then I have my hands, the backs of my hands are facing forward. And I'm going to lift my left hand, and I'm going to press them both back. I'm going to press my right hand back and my left hand back. And try to bring your shoulder blades together. Do the other side. And 2 more times each side. Okay, now I have my hands flexed. You can see they're straight and flexed. And what I'm going to do is press down with one and press up with the other. And you can look if you want. And the opposite way. Again. And one more time each side. Okay. And then we're going to take your arm, let's do one side in a goalpost. I'm just going to bring it behind your head. Okay, now we're going to take the other one, same thing. Okay, take our hands, intertwine them. And we're going to stretch out in front of us. And we're going to stretch overhead. And you can look up. And now we're going to lean over. And when we lean over, make sure your hip doesn't go out. We're keeping it straight. We're going to lean over to the left. And up. And lean over to the right. And come up. And come down. Now we're going to intertwine our hands behind us. And I have my feet spread a little bit wider than hip distance. And this time I'm going to come forward into a flat back. You can bend your knees and then lift your arms up and then drop your head. And you should feel a stretch in your hamstrings as well as your shoulders. And roll up. And now let's just do a forward fold. So we're just gonna, I like to go flat back, and when I can't do flat back anymore, then I roll all the way down and just hang. Let your head be heavy. If you touch, fine. If you don't, touch wherever. You can hold on to your shins, your knee, you know, right below your knee, above, wherever you are. Just that's where you are. And shake your head, yes. And shake it, no. Bend your knees and come up, roll up. And okay. Now I like to come down onto the floor because I like to mobilize the spine. Now, if you can't get on your hands and knees on the floor, that's fine. You don't have to. What you can do then is just in a seated position, you can do the same movement. And we call this cat and cow. People who are familiar a little bit with yoga. So let me sit here on the floor too. And so you're again in alignment, and you would come in and go out. So you're lifting your chest out and bring it in. It's the same kind of mobilization for your spine. I'm going to get on my hands and knees, and for those of you who can, I do padding. I have 2 mats on the floor, and then I get on a blanket just to protect my knees. And then I have my hands spread on the mat. Most of the weight is on the pad of the hand and by the thumb. My elbow creases go forward, and my shoulders are over my wrists, and my hips are over my knees, and my feet are flat. And then I'm in a neutral spine, but I am engaging my core. So I'm trying to lift or bring my navel to my spine, but you don't want it to drop down, because we're going to do that when we do this. So what we do is when we inhale, we're dropping our belly and looking up. Inhale, exhale, pulling the belly in and chin to chest. And let's go with your breath and do this 5 times. It's a nice mobilization. And 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. And 1 more time. Okay, bring your knees to the sides of the mat, toes together. And I'm going to put my heels on my glutes on my heels. And so now I'm just going to walk my hands out, keeping my glutes on my heels. If you're sitting in a chair, what you want to do is just come forward. So if you're sitting in a chair, just come forward. And you'll get that same stretch in your lower back. If you're on the floor, just going to walk your hands out. And see if you can put your forehead on the mat. You can put it in your fists. You can put it on a book, on a block, on a blanket, whatever works for you. As you're keeping your glutes on your heels. You should feel a nice stretch. When you're doing it this way, you should feel a stretch in your inner thighs as well as your lower back. Come on your elbows and just roll your wrists 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And then we're going to walk over to the right side, trying to keep your left glute on your heel. It comes up a little, that's okay. And then we're just going to stretch this way. The same thing. We're just going to lean over. If you're in a chair, you're just going to come over this way. And if you're laying down, you can just twist over. So I'm over on my right side. And take 3 breaths here. My nose kind of comes to my knee. If you can, don't worry if it doesn't. Just do what you can. Let's walk through center, and we're going to go over to the left side. Same thing. Try to keep your right glute on your heel. Feel a nice stretch in your side body. And come forward again. And let's walk our hands back. Let's try. I'm gonna roll out my roll out our calf. So I take a ball, and if you can just do this like this too. You just put the ball in here and you can just roll it like that. If you have a rolling pin, you can just use that to roll. I like to do it this way though. So I put the ball in that fleshy part, I put it on top of a book or a block, and then I can cross my leg over to give it a little bit more pressure. So this is kind of like loosening up the muscle and the fascia. And just going to take a couple of breaths right here. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to point and flex. If that's too much with your foot crossed, you can undo it. And we're just going to point and flex the foot. If you don't have the ball and the block, and you can still just go point and flex your foot. That's good for your feet. And roll your foot in one direction 5 times. And roll it in the other direction. You might hear some cracking and popping. And then we're just going to roll that ball over that calf. Left and right. And then I like to go around in a circle. 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Okay, now we're going to take the ball and do it on the other side, And I'm going to cross over. You don't have to cross over. I'm just putting a little bit more pressure on it. You don't have to do that though. Remember, you don't want to take any intensity above you want to stay in the middle ground. I say on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to keep it at a 5. And then we're going to uncross and we're going to point and flex. And we're going to roll in one direction and the opposite direction. And then we're going to roll left and right over that calf. And then we're going to go in a circle in one direction and the opposite direction. Okay, and release. Roll your wrists. Then we're going to take the ball. And now, if your knees are bothering you, you don't have to put the ball in it, but I like to put the ball, they call it fleshing out the knee, so I'm putting the ball in the crevice of the knee, and then I'm just pulling it into my chest. Now you can, just don't do that with the ball and just pull in, be gentle. So I'm just going to pull in here, and I'm going to take 3 breaths, in and out. if you can, you could go on your back and just, it intensifies it a little bit. You're pulling in and reaching out. And come back up, and let's do the other one, same thing. Pull in. Three breaths, and then come down on your back if you can. If not, just keep on sitting and pulling it in. And take 3 breaths here. Lengthen the straight leg as you pull in the other one. And come up. Now take the ball, and we're going to just roll out our glutes. So I'm going to put the ball on the inside of the sits bone there. I'm just going to sit on it a little bit. You can rock if you'd like. Now, if you have a roller, you could do this with the roller too. Basically, you're putting the roller under your knees, you're sitting on it, and you're going to roll out your glutes. But if you don't have that, you can just sit on this. And instead of rolling forward and back, we just are going to roll the ball around that sits bone 3 times in one direction and then go in the opposite direction. So whatever you like. Now we're going to work our hip a little bit more. And so I'm trying to find that area on my hip that I just need to work out. Mine is like right here. Now, if you're on the roller, what you do is you can cross your foot over and you can feel the stretch in that hip. The knee stays down, you can push it down, and you're going to lean into that hip. So that's another option. So I'm going to use the ball today. So I'm going to find that place in my hip. Well, like right there. The ball is a little bit more intense than the roller, so just be careful. So I found this spot, and you can just kind of roll the ball up and down. So I found this spot right here, and I'm going to, excuse me, 2. I don't know why it's always 2. I'm going to drop my knee and bring it back up. And I'm going to drop my knee and bring it back up, and one more time. Now I'm going to drop my knee and I'm going to extend my leg. You don't have to do that. But if you don't do that, just keep on dropping the knee. And you can move into different spots if there's other spots that need to be worked. So I'm going to drop and lengthen. Just remember, keep the intensity, middle ground. Okay, and then I can just roll up and down that hip area. So I'm just sliding the ball up and down. And you can do that on the roller too. Roll my wrist. Now I'm going to roll out the other glute. So I'm going to sit on it first for a couple breaths. And then I'm going to roll. Five in one direction, 5 times in another. Rolling around that sits bone. Now I'm going to find a place on the outside of my hip. So it's in that IT band, the piriformis. So mine is like right here that needs some attention. So I have it right there, and then I'm going to inhale, exhale, drop my knee. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. And then again, we can inhale and we're going to drop and extend and come back. But again, you're inhaling center, exhaling out. Again. And one more time. And if you don't have a ball, you can do this without the ball. Okay, let's We just roll back on our backs here and bring our knees to our chest. I like to bring my forehead to my knee to get a nice stretch in my whole spine. And then I'm gonna put my head down on the mat. Knees are still in. And I'm just gonna rock side to side. And then I'm gonna roll 3 times in one direction. And let's go the opposite direction. So now I have my knees into my chest. And take my hands out into a T position. And I'm gonna drop my knees over to the right. And I'm gonna make sure both shoulders stay on the mat. And I'm gonna look over my left arm. And take a couple breaths right here. Bring the knees back to center. And now drop them over to the left. Same thing, I'm keeping my shoulders both on the mat. My hands are down, palms are facing down. And I'm looking over my right shoulder this time. And I'm taking some breaths. And come back up to center. And this time now, I'm gonna lay on my right side. I have my knees are bent. So you can see my knees are kind of, I'm like in an L. My arms are out like this. And I'm gonna inhale. And when I exhale, I'm gonna come over and see if I can get my shoulders to come on the mat. And just do what you can. So this time my hands are facing up, the palms are facing up. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do that again. Come back, and one more time. Okay, now I have to do the other side to balance ourselves out. So it's the same thing. This time I'm laying on my left side. Again, you can see my knees. I'm in like an L shape here. My palms are together. And I'm going to inhale and exhale. Follow my hand as far as it can go. Back. Again, inhale. And exhale. And come back. And one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then come back. Okay. And stay on your backs. Just want to see where we are exactly. Okay. Do that one. Let's just, now we're going to just stretch out a little bit here. So let's let's lay on our back, and we're going to bring our feet flat on the floor. I'm going to bring my my left foot over my right knee, and I'm going to put my hands on my knee here, and I'm just going to pulse it a little bit. I have my feet flexed, and I'm going to pull that right knee into my chest. Now I'm not going to bring this knee in. I'm going to try to keep it to going out. Sometimes your elbow in there can help. You can see my elbow. My elbow is there, and I'll pull it in. You should feel a nice stretch in this left hip. And I have my feet flexed. If you want, you can straighten your leg. Have the where the knee is bent, you can straighten that leg. Have the heel go to the ceiling, toes kind of comfort to your face, and you're stretching out your hamstrings here. Try to keep your leg as straight as you can. And release. take your arms to a T position, palms down, and we're gonna just drop our legs over to the right, and you can see my left foot is on the ground, my left knee is going towards the ceiling, and I'm just gonna look over my left arm. So you don't want the knee to come down, you wanna try to get it so it's the left knee is going up to the ceiling. Take 3 breaths here. Come back to center. Now cross both knees over each other, and I'm gonna lift them, and I'm gonna flex my feet. I'm gonna pull my knees into my chest. Grab below the knees and pull them down, or on your legs, your shins. And release and uncross. Now we're going to do the other side, same thing. So now I have my right foot over my left knee. And I'm going to put my hand on my knee and just pulse it a little bit. Then I'm going to flex my feet. I'm going to pull the left knee into my chest. Should feel a nice stretch right here. Now let's take some breaths here. And then if you can, and if you want to, straighten your leg and see if you can have, stretch out your hamstrings. Try to straighten your leg. Heel goes to the ceiling. You're trying to bring your toes towards your face. Get a little bit of a hamstring stretch. If that's too much for you, you don't have to do it. If you're in a chair, you're doing the same thing and just lengthen your leg. Just make your leg come out. So if you're in a chair, you're usually coming down like this, but then you can just lengthen your leg like that if you want a hamstring stretch. Okay, so if you have you're stretching your hamstring, drop it. And then bring your arms, palms down, and we're going to drop our legs over to the left. And our right leg, though, the knee is going to be going to the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch right here. And then if you can, look over your right arm. Take 3 breaths, come back. Drop both knees over each other and pull them into your chest. And then uncross your legs and pull your knees into your chest again. And then rock side to side. And then go in a circle in one direction 3 times. And go the opposite way. Okay. Let's straighten our legs and stretch your toes to the wall in front of you. And stretch your arms to the wall behind you. So if you're laying down, what I want you to try to do, if you can, is you're going to walk your legs. You're going to make your legs go over to, so I'm straight. And I'm going to walk my legs over to the left. And I'm going to, as far as I can, and then cross, if I can, cross my right leg over my left. And then I'm going to inch my torso over to the left also. Bring my arms overhead. Grab my right wrist with my left and try to pull it over. So you're kind of in a little bit of a banana. It's a subtle stretch. You should feel a stretch in your hip as well as your side body. And just do what you can. Don't force anything. You can't cross your leg. Don't cross it over. Take 3 breaths, in and out. And then release and walk your torso, release your legs and walk over. Well, now we're going to go to the other side. So now I'm going to walk my legs over to the right. And I'm going to put, you can see it's not that big. Walk over a little bit. And I'm going to cross my foot over. You don't need to. And then I'm going to walk torso over a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put my hands overhead. I'm going to grab this time my left wrist with my right arm. Take some breaths here and then release and release. And then let's take one more nice body stretch. Okay, go over to the side. And let's, if you guys wanna, I'm gonna try to do, let's just sit on our mats here. And what we're gonna do first is, this is one of the things that I think is kind of relaxing, actually. And it's where you, it's called the bumblebee hum. And we've done this before. And this breathing tries to provide a place to rest and soothe your feelings. So it helps you connect to your vibration so that you hear only yourself. The vibration sounds like a bee humming in your head. And there is something incredible soothing about vibration. It quiets both the outside world and our own mind. And so the way we do this is, I take my glasses off, but your thumbs, and then I can't see you guys. So your thumbs go in your ears, and then this part of you cover your eyes, and it kind of goes on your cheeks too. And you're gonna press your, don't press them now so you can hear me, but you're gonna actually press your thumbs into your ears. So you're not hearing the outside world here, okay? If you want your hands to be warm, you can go like this and then put them over and put your thumbs in yours. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale. And when we exhale, we close off our ears with our thumbs and we hum. And we're going to inhale again through our nose, and we're going to hum when we exhale. And let's do that again. Inhale. And again, exhale. Okay. Let's do some stretching out of our shoulders. So I'm just gonna bring my left hand over to the right. I'm gonna brace it with my right elbow here. And then I'm gonna look over my left shoulder. You should feel a nice stretch down here. And breathe. I like to take 3 breaths with each stretch. So you come over the other side now, brace it with your left, look over your right shoulder. Now let's take 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. And release. Tap your left shoulder with your left hand and pull up your elbow. So you're pulling it back. And you should feel a kind of a nice stretch there. And release. Let's do the other one. Pull back. And release. Now, if you have your strap or your rolling pin or a scarf, what you're going to do is you're going to put whatever it is into your left hand. Then you go behind your back here. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to inch up. So you're trying to get your fingers to meet. Mine don't. So don't worry about it if they meet or not. But you should be feeling a nice stretch in both of your shoulders. You can also do it with like a rolling pin or a stick where you put it behind. There's something about this stick I like because I guess it's easier for me to kind of roll my arms up. But then we're going to do the other side, same thing. So you put this behind you and put the other hand behind and try to meet your fingers. And we're just kind of going up your back and down. The one hand's coming down, the other one's going up. And one side is usually tighter than the other. And release. Let's put our fingers on our shoulders here, and we can massage them a little bit. We're going to bring them in and out, in and out, and one more time. And then we're going to bring them in, and we're going to roll back. And we're going to go the opposite way. Okay, and take our arms out like this and bring our palms up and down, and one more time. And now we're just going to take it and supposedly brings energy into us. Let's do 2 more times. And one more time each side. Okay, and let's just bring our shoulders up to our ears and drop them. Bring them up and drop. And one more time. Up and drop. Just do our wrists. So I have my hand like this, and I put my other hand kind of like by the fingers, but then also by the palm, and pull back. And you should feel a stretch up your forearm also. And on the bottom forearm too. We're going to bring our fingers down and do the same thing. And forward and pull back. And the other side. And down. And back. Intertwine and roll. Try to go in the opposite direction. And have your hands come in and out. Okay. And just shake them out. We're going to take our head, our chin, and we're going to jut it out. And we're going to bring it back so you have a double chin. So tuck it out and back, and one more time. Out and back. Then we're going to take our chin and just go look over our left shoulder and our right, our left, and our right. One more time. Our left and our right. We're going to drop our left ear to our shoulder. Think about lifting the right ear. Take your hand and put it on the side of your head and just apply light pressure. You should feel a nice stretch in your neck. And you can, if you'd like, you can have your arm go out. See if that makes the stretch go a little further. You can make it go up and down. And come up, right ear to right shoulder, Left ear lift. Put your hand right on the side of your head here and just apply a little pressure. Make your arm go out. See if that makes the stretch go a little further. And release. Look over your left shoulder, drop your nose, and just roll to the right, roll to the left, again to the right, and left, and one more time. Bring your head center, intertwine, put your hands behind your head, and come forward. Hands behind your neck here, and you can massage and look up. Great. And then let's do this. We're gonna, where's my computer? Let's do a heart flow. And what that is we're going to, it's just a heart flow where it's a heart prayer that allows love to flow freely up, out, and back and in, forward and out. And as you flow this love forward and back, in and out, reflect on all the ways that love flows through your life, outward to others and back to yourself. So allow yourself to be loved by others and feel them loving you. So we start in a position here, like a prayer position. Press your palms together. You're going to inhale and come out, and exhale and come back in. And then you're going to inhale and go out, and exhale and come back in. We'll do that again. So we go inhale and go out, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. Very good. And then we're going to close with what's called holding love. And we never stop grieving or receiving love, but we don't always realize it. And there are many obstacles that can keep us disconnected from feeling this love that surrounds us. It could be fear, shame, guilt, resentments, and so on. This moving meditation allows you to release these things that weigh heavy on your mind so that you can connect to the love that is there. So as we're seated in a comfortable position here, put your right hand on your heart and bend your left arm. I have my left hand on my heart and I'm bending my right arm. It's like it's in a L position here. And the palm is facing up. And as you observe your breath, you're going to inhale and breathe and connect to the things in your life that fill your heart. It can be people, experiences, pets, or loving memories. And as you reflect on the positive, loving reflection, bring your attention to the hand that's extended and also the hand that's over your heart, and connect to your heartbeat. And as you recognize anything that disconnects you from that love, such as fear, hurt, or doubt, acknowledge it and imagine that it is an object in your right hand. Then gracefully lift your right hand up and back, releasing and disconnecting over your right shoulder and behind you. Then bring your hand back down and in front of you. And then you continue this. So we'll do the same thing. So just um, think of anything that disconnects you from your love, such as fear, hurt, doubt, and acknowledge it and imagine that it's the object is in your right hand. And we're going to inhale and we're going to let it go. And let's come down again. And again, let's take some breaths here. And think about what is getting in your way. What is giving you all this hurt? Is it people? Is it what their words? Put it in your right hand and let it go. And let's do that one more time. So let's inhale and exhale. And as you're inhaling and exhale, connect with your heartbeat with your left hand over your heart. And it's beating and there's love. And now think of all the things that are getting in your way and hurting you and making you upset, and put it in your right hand. And fill your right hand with those things and inhale. And when you exhale, just let it go over your right shoulder. Okay. And let's just roll our shoulders back and roll them forward. Okay, guys, feel free to unmute yourself